Looking for your ideal clients, maybe the clients that are actually going to go out there and actually do what you tell them to do, and on top of that, reach success following your coaching or healing program? Well, if that's the case, then this video is for you.
We all win when we all win. We all win when we all win.
Hey there, my friend. I'm Super Sid, the Marketing Shaman, and I help coaches and healers go out there and create their first or their next 10K paydays using a profitable presentation in 30 days or less. We film videos for our YouTube and obviously for all of our places online because our goal is to go out there and help as many people as we can heal. And one of the branches that we have over here at our company and over here in regards to the 10K paydays that we help our coaches reach every single month is all geared around helping those coaches be able to go out there and heal more people so that more people in the world can be healed. We put these videos together so that coaches and healers like yourself can come and watch these videos, get help with the problems that you are having so that you can break through the ceiling, go out there and create and reach your first or your next 10K payday. And then ultimately, once you start reading 10K paydays, you can come back, you can come and hang out with us, and ultimately you can start looking to work with us at a high level. That's why I put these videos together, and that's why I'm putting this video together for you right now to help you find your ideal clients. I think most people, when they think about their ideal client or they think about building their perfect client, there's one thing that comes to mind, and it's called the perfect client avatar. And although the perfect client avatar is something that you should do, it's actually the last thing that you should do. And ultimately, right, when you don't do it as the last thing, a lot of coaches that we found, and including ourselves, right, haven't really solved the root part of the business. We don't really know who it is that we're selling to. We haven't niched down far enough, and ultimately, right, we're out there trying to sell to everybody or way too many people than we can. We're finding ourselves in a lot of problems, and ultimately we're not able to make the impact or find the coaches that we need to help. So ultimately what we're going to go over in this video is we're going to go over 2 specific questions that are going to help you in regards to starting to ask the questions to get into the head of the prospects who are needing your help right now. We're specifically going to go over how do we bucket, right, these specific prospects, and how do I identify, right, which prospects and which bucket of prospects or niche right now needs our help right now. See, that's the thing. We don't build stuff with picking a niche. The niche actually picks us, and we're going to talk about that in this video. And then last and certainly not least, I'm going to take you through in this video what we call our Identifier process, which is what we work with our coaches and healers with over here when we're helping them create their first or their next 10K paydays at our 10K payday retreats and in our mastermind and other programs that we have. But ultimately, we're going to take you through this Identifier process, which is going to show you how you don't pick your niche actually picks you, and talk to you about exactly how you can go out there step by step and start finding your ideal clients. Without any further ado, let's rock and roll. So, what is an ideal client, and why is it so important for coaches and healers to find and have ideal clients that they're working with in their coaching business? And really where this comes down to is it comes down to a couple of things, right? First of all, there's absolutely no point as a coach, right, to try to help somebody that we're unable to help. So if we're going out there and we're just trying to sign up everybody, we're actually going to fall short on a lot of things. And in the long term, right, we're going to get a lot of people that are upset. We're going to get a lot of people that don't stick around to get our help from our services. And what we're going to find is that we're going to be constantly chasing, right, to go out there and try to help anybody that is willing to listen to us. And that's not why we became a coach. A coach really is someone who's going to be helping someone reach a goal or a target that they have, right? They're going to be specifically have some sort of measurement out there that is going to help somebody get here. And usually, right, they're going to be here. But ultimately, right, that coach is going to be someone who is going to guide them across the process based on where they are now to where they want to get to. And they could ultimately be anywhere on that line. But ultimately, as an example, right, you could be helping someone in regards to relationships, specifically people who are divorced. And then you could go out there and work with people who are divorced to help them go out there and pick a first date or go on a first date for the first time. They're wanting to go from divorce to going on a first date. Well, ultimately, right, them going on a first date is kind of the milestone that they get to that you promised to help them with. Now, granted, you're helping them with a lot more stuff in that process. You might be helping them with self-esteem, confidence. You might be helping them with detoxing. You might be helping them with understanding how to date in the 21st century. Who knows? But ultimately, right, like the big goal that you're helping them get to is going on a first date. So what we want to understand is that we want to find the clients that fall into needing that, not clients that, well, that could be cool one day. Where I think where a lot of coaches fall short is they spend so much time trying to educate a marketplace that is never going to be their client, when actually they have so many ideal clients that are out there waiting for them that all they got to do is go and talk to them and ultimately, right, show them exactly what their solution is, and they'll come flying to them in droves. That's what's so crazy to me when it comes to people that are just spraying and praying out there when all they got to do is put on consistent presentations, demonstrations, showing people exactly what they do, how it can help them, and if they want their help, here's where you go. It's really that simple. But so what we want to make sure that we understand is ultimately ideal clients are going to be the best clients that we want to sign up, but not only going to be the best clients, they're going to be the clients that are going to push our envelope and our company farther than we ever thought possible, and specifically ever could do ourselves. Before I go into this next piece and start talking to you exactly how we start finding our ideal clients, the specific steps and process that we follow, I want to remind you to subscribe to this channel. I'm putting out new and exciting videos every single day showing coaches and healers so they can go out there and create their first or their next 10K payday. That's where they go out there and they generate $10,000 in 30 days or less using a profitable presentation. This is what we use at our company that helped us sign up over 250 coaching clients last year in under a year, and what a small army of coaches that are working with us right now are using specifically to grow their businesses to 10, 20, and even one that just sold up 42 clients right in under 60 days. So ultimately so excited to have you go down there and subscribe to this channel so that we can hang out again. All right, next thing. Now we know what the ideal client is. The next thing we want to talk about is that perfect client avatar that we were talking about before. I mentioned a little bit before that the perfect client avatar is really the last thing that we do, but I want to reverse engineer what we're doing here so ultimately you can understand it at a larger scale. The first thing that we want to talk about is our perfect client avatar. That is what we're wanting to build. But ultimately, to build this perfect client avatar, everybody's always going to tell you, you got to understand their needs. You got to understand their wants. You got to get in their head. You got to do this. You got to ask what books they read. Ask this. Ultimately, your perfect client avatar, yes, it has stuff to do with that, but really what we're wanting to get to has nothing to do with what their favorite book is, and has everything to do with where they are in their life right now and the current situations that they're sitting in right now inside their life. See, again, we talked about it in the last segment, but they're here and they want to get here. And ultimately, when they run into this problem, there's going to be specific questions, specific places online, specific things that they want to learn about or figure out about so that they can solve that problem. What we want to identify when we start asking these questions is what are those things, and specifically the best way that we can find to start finding those questions, start finding the questions and start finding the things that they're thinking about that's in their head is understanding two specific desires. Now those two specific desires that we need to understand are one is going to be called your surface desire. And that's going to be the one thing that we're going to talk to, or the one thing that we're going to be going and talking about helping someone with as a coach. And then there's going to be the other spectrum, which is going to be called their core desire. Now their core desire is ultimately what their surface desire is going to help them do. So again, if we talk about the relationship coach example that we were talking about in the last segment, a relationship coach, right, you could do a lot of things, but ultimately you're a relationship coach who is helping recent people who just got divorced go on their first date. So my point in all this stuff is what specific surface desire do they want? They want to go on a first date. Why? Because their core desire is they want to have a happy marriage and someone they can share their life with, probably, right, at some level. So ultimately, right, understanding that their first date is ultimately the goal that you're going to help them with. But if they don't go on a first date, they're never going to be able to find someone that they can live their entire life with. See the two differences? When it comes to our company and us helping coaches and healers make more money, specifically make their first or their next 10K payday, we help coaches make more money, infinitely. But ultimately, the whole more money and creating your first or your next 6 figures in your coaching business every single year comes from creating your first 10K payday. If you can't create a 10K payday, it's going to be very, very difficult for you to create that 6-figure business. So ultimately, us helping coaches create 10K paydays usually ties into, right, them having more freedom through creating, right, consistent 10K paydays, which would be a 6-figure coaching business. So as we understand this surface and this core desire, it allows us to not only talk to these desires, but allows us when we're out there looking to find people online or offline or looking to go out there and communicate to people who need our help, it's going to help us communicate to them more effectively so that they understand specifically how we can help them. All right, so now you understand specifically, right, the perfect client avatar, what we want to get to, and then you also understand a little bit more of the desires, and you understand kind of like the beginning parts of like questions in regards to what is it exactly that they want, and what are we going to be talking to, meaning their surface desires, what they want. That means if you're helping them get a first date, you as a coach is talking about helping people get to a first date, not being a relationship coach, right? Because you're helping people get that one thing. That first date is going to help them find, right, a wife or a husband or a partner, but ultimately they got to go on that first date, and that's what your specialty in. Now, let's break this down into understanding specifically how, right, understanding specifically how our identity identifier process works. Now, we're looking to identify the identity. Yeah, I know. Crazy, right? We're looking to identify the identity of our perfect client. We're looking to identify the identity of our best clients and our most ideal clients. That's where that perfect client avatar comes into play. But we ought to understand the surface desires and the overall core desires so that we can even be asking the right questions to begin with. So ultimately what we're wanting to do when we start looking to break down, right, this process is we don't start with picking a niche, and we don't start with our perfect client avatar. Those are actually some of the last things that we pick. The first thing we identify is, what is the solution? What do we solve? Obviously, we can help people in health, wealth, or relationships. Those are the three core markets, but I don't tell people I'm making money. The example of helping them make money, the example of the relationship coach doesn't tell people they're helping them get remarried or they're helping them find their next soulmate. They're helping them with a very specific problem so that they can do that in the future. We're helping them with a very specific problem so that someone can reach that goal. I think a big problem when it comes to this is a lot of coaches and healers don't have something measured. I'm going to help somebody be more happy. I'm going to help somebody make more money. I'm going to help somebody feel better. But they don't actually say, I'm going to help you feel like you once did. I'm going to help you feel like the single woman that you were before you got married and got traumatized. I'm going to help you feel like you once did when you're, when you were a 7-figure entrepreneur. I'm going to help you, find your soulmate. I'm going to help you get on a first date so you can get over, right, going on first dates and finding someone that you're able to marry. You'll be able to go and meet as many people as you want after you go through this process of getting on a first date. And I think a lot of people don't have that measurement. So when they're talking to people and they're messaging with people in their coaching or the healing business, it gets very, very murky. And to be honest with you, it's very, very confusing. So a lot of people mess that up. But ultimately what we're looking at doing here is understanding specifically what is the solution that we provide. Now when we understand that solution, we then want to break that one solution usually into 3 or more stepping stones. We call these stepping stones milestones. So the milestones here at Life Coach Launch, well, the initial thing is we help people create a 10K payday. There's 3 things that we help with that: identification, presentations, impact. You have to go through all 3 of those to get a 10K payday. If you don't hit one of those, you're not going to get a 10K payday. So what are those 3 stepping stones that you have? In the specific relationship coach model with a divorce, it might be getting over your divorce, building self-confidence, modern dating 2022 or whatever, right? But regardless, right, what are those milestones? Once we identify those, it makes it a lot easier for us to communicate exactly how we can help people and understanding specifically what groups of people need our help right now. The next thing we do, now that we understand our solution and the stepping stones to get it, that's when we identify, right, the groups, plural, of people that need our help. Because there's usually a lot of niches that need our help, a lot of groups of people that need our help, right? A group of people is going to be your niche, right? And then what we identify from those groups of people is which one of those groups of people need that help more right now. Where's the hottest market of people who are going to, yep, I need that, I know I need it. Those are the people we want to make sure we go after first. It doesn't mean we can't go after someone different later on, but we want to find the group of people who need our help right now. We want to sign up people fast so that we can keep our business healthy, right? And then last and certainly not least, after we identify that group of people, we have sort of an idea of, we're going to work with life coaches. We're going to work with, recent husbands who just got, divorced husbands, divorced wives, whatever. And we got that narrow niche. That's when we can start going in and building our perfect client avatar by understanding specific things like psychological behaviors. What are their thoughts? What are they doing on a day-to-day basis? We usually do the perfect day exercise with our perfect client, where we literally write down what does the typical day look like in their life so that we can show up where they're at on that specific day and aim to help them. And that's specifically what we're looking to do so that we can not only go out there and find clients, but we can go out there and find our ideal clients that specifically are going to help us, right, go out there and impact more people. If you're a coach or a healer that's looking to go out there and find your ideal clients, then I just got done with an absolutely free worksheet for you that goes over everything that we just talked about and ask you some specific prompts that are going to help you find your most ideal clients and going to help you go out there and get them very, very quickly. We call it the Identity Identifier Worksheet and Masterclass, and it's absolutely free, and you can download it down here below. What this is going to help you do and what this is going to help you with is this right here is specifically going to help you with giving you a workbook that's going to ask you these specific prompts that is going to help you walk through the specific things, right, in regards to finding your ideal clients. It's absolutely free, and you can grab it down here in the description below, which is the Identity Identifier Worksheet. I'm super excited to see you on the inside of that Identity Identifier Worksheet, and don't forget, we all win when we all win. Let's go out there and make a choice to win today, not only by subscribing to this channel, but by going down there in that description and grabbing your free Identity Identifier Worksheet so that you can go out there and find your most ideal clients faster than you ever thought before. We'll see you in the next video.